It's on 93 Boxing. I'm back with a quick video. Amir Khan's still saying that he's hopeful of the Manny Pacquiao fight. Now, maybe, and the only reason I say this is because they've changed up camps. He says he's got 5 fights left. He was looking at Lamont Peterson versus this Avanesian guy. And guess what? Amir Khan's right now apparently saying that he's still hopeful of the Manny Pacquiao fight. You know when if you're with someone in a relationship and they cheat on you the first time, they cheat on you the second time, you'd be stupid to be hopeful that they won't cheat on you for the third time. But you know, this is what Amir Khan is like. Sometimes I'm a big Amir Khan fan, but he's dumb, man. He's so dumb. Honestly, I mean, it's unbelievable what he says. That, you know, I remember, some other boxing channels said there's something wrong with Amir Khan's head, and it might be true. But it can't because of the Canelo knockout, because he was like this before. He pretty much, like in 2013, he gave away. He could have fought there once against. He was waiting for Floyd Mayweather. He didn't get the fight, so he missed out his opportunity to have a fight. And then again, in 2014, he fought 2 fights. Keep in mind, he does have Ramadan. 2015, he fought Algeria, which wasn't the best performance that he had. And then in the December 2015, he didn't fight. 2016, he fights Canelo, gets knocked out. It's understandable why he didn't fight in 2016 for December. So basically, technically, what he done is he missed out in 2000. So in 2013 he didn't fight once. 2015 he didn't fight once. 2016 he didn't fight once. 3 times he hasn't fought. So since 2010, how many fights has he got? He has Julio Diaz fight, and he missed out. Then he fought Luis Calazo, Devin Alexander. Then he fought Chris Algieri, and he missed out. And then he fought Canelo. So since 2013 he has 5 fights, which is not that impressive, to be honest. And if you compare in the last 2 years, he only had 2 fights. I mean, I guess past is past, and you have to move on to do whatever. But Amir Khan better not be. He better not let this summer go. At least a tune-up fight. At least someone decent. Even if it's a bum. I know you're coming. You had a hand injury coming off a knockout. I mean, I wouldn't be impressed with a total bum, but I want someone like a Lamont Peterson, or even if it's a little bit worse than that, that's fine. He needs to get his hands going and things like that. He needs to start fighting again. We already saw what David Hayes done to himself. I mean, he hasn't fought enough times. I mean, he's been retired for 3 years. He came back, and even though David Hayes had that injury, before that injury, he wasn't looking like himself. Amir Khan needs to go back and fight, and if he waits for Manny Pacquiao, look, the first time I said, I felt like it was kind of like Floyd Mayweather's fault in a way that made Amir Khan wait. I guess, you have your own control of yourself, obviously, so technically you can blame Amir Khan, but the first time I kind of thought that Floyd Mayweather kind of led him on. The second time, I was like, Amir Khan's a fool for being led on. The third time, Manny Pacquiao too, and the third time, you know what? If he does it, it's completely 100% his fault, because not only is this the third time that you've been fooled, but this is also the third time you're being fooled by... Actually, this is the second time you've been fooled by the same person. You've been fooled twice by Floyd. You've been fooled twice. You're going to be fooled twice by Manny Pacquiao if you let this happen. Amir Khan needs to stop with the... I get it. I get it. He wants the big fights, and I do feel like he kind of deserved it a bit more than, people say, oh, what's Amir Khan done to deserve it? I mean, prior to the Canelo fight, or even afterwards, he done a decent amount. I feel like he done a decent amount. Some people were talking about Errol Spence should get a fight with Manny Pacquiao. Well, then the only best performance he fought was Chris Algieri, which was impressive, but damn, that's the best thing he's done. And Errol Spence don't even bring too much revenue like that. He'd be a big name. He's a decent name right now. But even before, like the Algeria fight or before that, Amir Khan had he had a couple couple good performances, and he could have got floored. I feel like he deserved it more than Berto, more than Maidana in the second fight. I feel like he deserved more than a lot of some of the fighters that Floyd is for. So this is coming from me, right? I do think these top fighters avoided them. Not necessarily that they wouldn't beat Khan, but they just avoided them just because it's too much work. You know, Amir Khan would have posed a problem, especially Floyd Mayweather. If you can't knock him out, you can't. It's very hard to beat him. So again, that's not to say that Floyd wouldn't beat him. And I do feel like, I'm just saying, I do feel like Amir Khan's been like avoided by these fighters. But tough luck. I mean, obviously, I would want to see him in a big fight. But if you can't get those big fights, what do? You take the best available options. You take other available options. Okay? Now, I understand Amir Khan for not fighting Kell Brook. A, you know, he needs a tune-up. And B, Kell Brook's, I mean, he's full of shit, man. He is really full of rubbish. And I understand all that. But he needs to be fighting any good oppositions. It doesn't have to be a Keith Thurman right away. It doesn't have to be anything. It could be like as I said, Lamont Peterson. It could be a Chris Algieri level fighter. It could be something like that. Maybe a bit less maybe a Jesse Vargas. I know Jesse Vargas is like he's a decent fighter. He's been a world champion. He fought Manny Pacquiao. I guess he's coming off a loss. So, but you know, someone on that level, or around, give or take, maybe a bit lesser level. It doesn't matter. Get in a fight. Forget Manny Pacquiao. The only reason he wants to take the Manny Pacquiao fight is because he's been wanting the big fight and he wants to take that fight. He will not be at 100%, like mentally even. He won't be at the 100%. But he's just taking it because he wants to be in a big fight, which as I said, I understand. But the thing is this: Amir Khan said he wants a tune-up fight. Manny Pacquiao's no tune-up, even at this time. So what he won't be at his best. To be at his best, he has to take a tune-up fight, feel out his hand, get that little bit of confidence, and then because confidence is key. And if what happened to what Khan went through against Canelo, obviously it's discouraging, right? It's kind of like demotivating in a way. He did mention that, do I need to be boxing? He was questioning himself to himself that, do I need to be boxing? And something like a tune-up fight will give you the confidence back. And even though it doesn't prove anything by beating someone who's a lower level opposition, it gives you a confidence that you can do it. You can do something now. You can do well. You get the confidence back, right? But if he goes in there against a top fighter like a Manny Pacquiao, like any top fighter, especially like a puncher, he's gonna go in there and those shots that he's getting hit with, it's gonna kind of remind himself of those knockouts that he suffered. Not to say that those people that hitting him are like Canelo or Garcia or Prescott, but it's I'm saying it's trying to get the confidence back, and I feel like it's better for him to not fight a Manny Pacquiao. Even if you beat Manny Pacquiao, I don't think you're gonna get the credit. Manny Pacquiao's not even looked as some good. Ever since he lost against Floyd, he's not even looked at as something that amazing. Yeah, he beat Bradley a lot better than what people expected. He beat Jesse Vargas. He dropped him, but that was really it. He's still a good fighter, man. And he could just, Amir Khan can do a lot of. He can actually shake up the welterweight division a little bit, if he comes back. I do believe that. I mean, yeah, he got knocked out, but he got knocked out by Canelo. Any welterweight right now will get knocked out by Canelo if they get touched like that. And I think any welterweight that's active right now faces Canelo at 155, no rehydration clause. They are on the canvas and they're staying there. But that includes Errol Spence, Kell Brook, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia. I mean, you name it. Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao might get killed in there. If Marquez can put him to sleep, imagine what Canelo would do. And that's the fact that he even picked Canelo was actually a bad move. Virgil Hunter's going on to say, "Oh, I regret allowing Amir Khan to fight Canelo." You even wasted, because of that. You kind of wasted actually not because of that mainly, but him fighting Canelo was really a bad move in a way itself. It's his team who should have protected him. But the good thing is he has changed a few people in his team. He's trying to get things right, and I think he'll be back. I think Amir Khan will be back, but I think Amir Khan has, really will. He will get some good wins, man. He will get some good wins. He will get beat few people, or at least put up a better fight than what people think. He's got a lot. He's underrated, man. He's getting knocked out, but he's fought a lot of punches, man. He's fought a lot of punches, and it's not too many people out there that fought that many punches at welterweight. So yeah, that's really what I have to say, man. I mean, Manny Pacquiao, ignore Manny Pacquiao. I'm talking about all the other fighters. People got this hype on Errol Spence. And Errol Spence is a good fighter, but Errol Spence, who has he really beat? Like, he's beat Algerian better than others. He's beat Bondu better than others. But that doesn't say much. I mean, look, Amir Khan beats Zab Judah better than pretty much others, but that doesn't mean he's better than all the others. He's not better than Floyd Mayweather, but he beats Judah better than Floyd Mayweather, right? So, Errol Spence beating Algeria, yeah, it's saying something, but it's not painting the whole picture for us. And just because he beat these fighters better than those other fighters did, doesn't mean that he'll beat those other fighters. Pacquiao beat Bradley convincingly. Bradley beat Marquez quite convincingly. That doesn't mean that Pacquiao's gonna beat Marquez very easily. That never happened. That's really what I have to say, man. I'm SR93 Boxing. I'm out. Oh yeah, by the way, I've been very busy. I do apologize for that. I will be busy I'll be busy for a few months, man, but I'll try and make as many videos as possible. I'll try to be as active as possible on YouTube, and I'll see you next time.